It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Road to Sorare Boss episode where we follow my journey in the wonderful world of Sorare. We talk all things Sorare, we wrap up the season as we're going to do today. Not wrap up the season, but it's the last Premier League weekend of the season. Wipes a tear away, wipes a tear away. Farewell, Premier League in-season cards. You've served us well. You've kind of made the money back, I suppose, on what we bought. We kind of won a little bit more than we paid for, so we've had fun with you. Shout out to the Wolves collection, the Crystal Palace collection, the Everton cards, the classic cards. Shout out to all the cards. The season's ending, so Sorare's about to get really quiet for me. I know there's other modes of playing. I know there's arena modes, MLS. Sorare have recently remade the MLS cards with some 90s design to try and get us, to keep playing Sorare during the summer. But for me, I'm not really falling for it. I don't have MLS cards. I don't have Asia cards, and Mexican season's finished. So the only kind of non-European league I really play is Mexico, and that's about to finish as well this weekend. Premier League's finishing, European leagues are finishing, Mexican football's having going on. Now, the Mexican break is really short. They break for like 5 minutes and then the next season starts. So the Mexican season, I think, will be coming back before the European seasons, which will give me something to kind of play with again, be active. But it's going to be quite a few weeks for me. So my videos may be every 2 weeks. I've not yet decided. There is going to be a Club World Cup. I think there may be some playing there. So I may make videos and have lineups to play during the Club World Cup. I'm not quite sure about that. I've not done my research and we don't have details yet on what Sorare is doing with that. So we're going to see with all of that. But it could get quieter. It could be a period for scouting, selling some cards, preparing the gallery for next season. And then come again in August, when the Premier League's back, it'll be in-season cards time again, where I need to think about my strategy. I need to think about how I want to play. I am still going to want to keep playing Sorare. I haven't got bored of it. I haven't, stopped wanting to play Sorare. So I'm assuming I'm going to be back in August when the Premier League is back. But we've still got one more weekend left. One more week to enjoy. So, as we always do, let's start off this week's video by looking at how I did last weekend in the wonderful world of Sorare. Okay, gang, here we go. This is how I did last weekend in the wonderful world of Sorare. There is a midweek set of fixtures that's live, but that's basically a few Premier League fixtures. We can go there. We can go there. Wolves lost to Crystal Palace, so I had a few Wolves cards that didn't get played. I had a few Crystal Palace cards that they didn't play. I assumed Crystal Palace would rest Eze, Mateta, all of the best players after their heroic FA Cup win. Congratulations to Crystal Palace. I feel like I'm somehow got some stake in them because I've got a little bit of a mini Crystal Palace in-season stack this season. So I've been rooting for Crystal Palace all season. So I was happy to see them win in the FA Cup. Didn't help me in Sorare, obviously, but yeah, nice to see Crystal Palace win the FA Cup. So yeah, nothing midweek from me. There was also the Europa League final, which Tottenham won. Tottenham won a trophy. It's the end of the world, everybody. So yeah, nothing from midweek. Obviously, I don't have Manchester United or Tottenham cards really, so quiet midweek for me. Last weekend, we won a little cash prize again. We won $7. Listen, they all add up. They all add up. So I think we won a little $7 last week. I think we may have won $10 2 weeks before that. So, we've had a few little cash rollings in, I guess, which we're not spending all of it, where we've been storing it away, and my head is blocking the kind of bank balance I have at the moment. But I've got about £115 kind of in the bank, which I'm kind of thinking that might be enough for five in-season Premier League cards at the beginning of the season next season in the Premier League, which is where I'm going to want to prioritize. I may not do that. I'm going to see what the prices are like next season, because what I did this season in the Premier League is I bought my Nottingham Forest stack and my Wolves stack. I bought them like the second international break of the Premier League season when the prices kind of dipped a little bit. So I may do that again, because the good thing about that was I was able to watch the first few weeks of the Premier League and spot who I wanted. And I jumped on Nottingham Forest way earlier than they before they were in the Champions League places, before everyone was getting excited about Nottingham Forest. I got got in really early with them, and I've been able to ride them out a lot of the season and win, some nice cash prizes from the likes of Hudson Odoi, Chris Wood. They've all been legends for me this year. So I wouldn't have picked Nottingham Forest at the beginning of the season. So I may do that next season again. It's tricky because there'll be FOMO. Everyone else will be buying in-season cards, and it'll be really tempting because I'll want to jump in straight away and play in season. So I may wait again and see who's next year's Nottingham Forest and see if my eye and my scouting is rewarded once again, because I jumped on Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest really early in the season, and then got lots of nice weeks with them, and played them in sort of the Christmas Neon special competition where I won $250 one weekend with like 3 maybe Nottingham Forest cards, and I think I've won some stuff with Crystal Palace cards. So that wouldn't have happened if I'd have bought cards at the beginning of the season. I would have probably gone for the favourites, who everyone expected to do well. Now, it could be a different way. I could just go for like one team at the beginning of next season. I could not do any stacking and just kind of go for like 5 players I think, okay, these guys have to do well, surely. Or I could just go for Chelsea. I could go for the team I support and go, I'll buy 5 Chelsea cards early on, because even if Chelsea have a bad season next year, I'm still going to want to play with their cards. I haven't had any in-season Chelsea cards this season, but I've got I've got all of the Chelsea players in classic versions from different years, wherever they are. So I've been enjoying, backing your own team, even though it's been in classic. I'm kind of glad it's been in classic this year, because I probably wouldn't have won much with Chelsea in season this year. They've not really had a great year. Hopefully they win on the last day of the season, but I kind of don't expect it. I kind of think Nottingham Forest might beat Chelsea, unfortunately. But maybe next year Chelsea sign a striker. I'm feeling more optimistic. I could go down that route. All of that will be discussed in my videos in the summer. I don't know whether they're going to be weekly still or 2 weekly, but I will still be making Sorare content. It may not be as often, but it will be there in the summer break, and then boom, when the season comes, we're back. So let's have a look how I did last weekend. There was a special competition where these 2 boys did well. Correa, one of my Santos cards, he's gone away to playing in, where is he playing? Colombia? He's doing well. 109 score from him. Beautiful. Eric Garcia, what a run he's been on lately. Eric Garcia, I think, has got an assist or a goal in like his last 3 games. So he's having a great run of form. And that Barcelona team, what a year they've had. Now, I don't have, these are little things that I'm going to do in the summer. I don't have Lamal from this collection. I've got loads of other cards. I don't have the Lamal, and I don't have a Pedri. So those are the kind of moves that I'm going to try and maybe look at making in the summer to fill this Barcelona collection. I quite like, they won the treble, and I've got that card. I've got that era of Barcelona, that collection, and I really like the shirt as well. I really like the shirt. I really like the fact that it was an exciting Barcelona team, and I've kind of got that collection. I quite like that, and that's why I'm not selling a lot of my in-season cards, because I'm a collector. I'm a hoarder, and I just like having that collection of Barcelona cards, and they'll be really useful in Classic next year. Classic, I'm assuming, will still be there, Classic competitions, and when Barcelona have a good game, there's a good chance of grinding Essence, at least, maybe picking up a card here and there from Classic lineups. So we'll be having fun with Barcelona in Classic next year. I don't think I'll go for in-season Barcelona again. That would be too much. Now, Premier League in season gave me no cash prizes, and I was a little disappointed because I was hopeful. Everton playing Southampton at home, last game at Goodison Park, I thought, positivity is going to be there. Fans are really going to want a big win. But Beto did nothing. Ghana didn't really do well. I went for Nick Pope in goal because I thought Arsenal wouldn't have anything to play for and Newcastle would win. They didn't. And then I got some good scores here from the Everton boys, but these 4, they didn't all hit. And they only won 2-0, which was a bit of a shame. So didn't win anything there. Well, I won 500 XP, but nothing juicy. Nottingham Forest beat West Ham as I thought, but Chris Wood did nothing. And we needed Chris Wood to do something in this lineup. We also needed Cole Palmer to do something, even though Chelsea won. 57 score from him, not what we wanted. So that was a shame. We won 10 Essence, but nothing more than that. By the way, we're saving all of our Essence for next season. Then we had this mixed bag lineup where we won 500 XP. Milenkovic did well, but none of the others did. Again, like Ipswich playing Leicester, we thought they could do well. Villa playing Spurs, we thought they'd do well. They did, but Asensio didn't get involved in any goal involvements. Decore didn't do anything, and Ramsdale didn't do anything. In Classic, we backed the Chelsea boys, who Cucurella, what a boy, what a player Cucurella is. What a season he's having. He did well. Chelsea's most attacking player, Cucurella, and then the rest of them didn't do. And this is why I'm worried about Nottingham Forest. Chelsea were not great against Manchester United. They scraped a 1-0 win thanks to a Cucurella header. And against Nottingham Forest, Forest have got a much better defence than Manchester United. So it's going to be a much harder game. There's still going to be no Jackson. So we're going to be relying on Cucurella to score again. I don't know. I don't feel confident, but who knows? Stranger things have happened. Then there was this kind of DMP goalkeeper mixed lineup. Shout out to Raul Jimenez, Mexico's finest, scoring. Harry Wilson popping up with the goals again. He's been a good card for me this year, Harry Wilson. He's, I wonder if we can see... I don't usually do this, but on the back of the Sorare cards, they have what they've won for you. 15 weeks, 6 rewards from Harry Wilson. Highest score, 128. So... he's been a good card for us. I really this has been my favorite card design of the Sorare year. The neon Christmas specials with the frosting on the side and the black design. Love it, love it. Then there were some common competitions where I'm not quite sure why I'm still playing the common competitions. We're not winning anything. We're winning common essence to buy common packs, which can only win common essence. It seems like a weird circle we're going in, so we're not really paying common that much interest. Then we get to $7. The $7 that we won in La Liga came from our La Liga in-season lineup, Division 1, where Julian Alvarez got 2 goals and an assist. Alenia and Vicente did okay for my Deportivo Alaves boys, but it was the defense that did well for Alaves. This Tengalia guy, his scores lately have been amazing. Alaves have really finished it. There was a few weeks ago I was thinking Alaves are going to get relegated. They've had a really good end sort of last 3 or 4 weeks. They've put some great performances together. The defense looks solid. They've got this guy, they've got a guy called Mourinho, not that one. They've got him, the goalkeeper's doing well, and look at his scores lately. We've had some good score from Alaves. So this Alaves collection was so cheap. And basically, they won me $7 this week. And there's no one in the Alaves collection that I bought that cost anywhere near $7. They all were like £1.50. And then I bought loads of them on the secondhand market for like 30p. So again, and I got the collection to 4%. I'm going to get it to 5% to play next season with. But those squad bonuses probably gave me a bit of a boost in the rankings, probably edged me into that cash prize. And this is not the first week this happened, especially lately. I've won a few nice little cash prizes with the Alaves boys. And I've kind of fallen in love with the team a little bit, so I won't be selling them as well because got a soft spot for Alaves now because of Sorare. So I'll be keeping this Alaves collection. I need to get 2 more cards that I can buy second hand for like 20p. And that'll push the collection eventually to 5%. And then happy days, Alaves collection at 5%. This lineup was also good. Unfortunately, I should have backed maybe the Alaves defense more in this game. I just thought they were playing Valladolid, who are like bottom or second to bottom in the table. So I expected the attackers to have a bit of fun as well. But if I'd have put Alvarez as my striker and then backed the defense and put Mourinho in defense, we could have done better. Could have done better, but you know. There we go. And Kike Garcia was the striker to go for, not Vicente. So again, if I'd have gone for Garcia instead of Vicente, if. Then we have 2 essence that we won from this team because, I mean, Rafinha and Lewandowski both started for Barcelona and both were useless, didn't do anything. And it was the defense, Dimitrovic, the Leganes goalkeeper, Big Marcos Alonso and Lopez. They did their jobs, but the boys up front, it's usually the other way around. These are usually the reliable ones, and these are usually the jokers. But, you know, Rafinha and Lewandowski were the jokers this week, so nothing to cheer about. Hang on. Take that back, Amreezy. 2 essence to cheer about thanks to that. Shout out to Conor Gallagher. Why not? The Pitbull. MLS. Oh, by the way, So I've been playing this MLS team in the warm-up league all year because I've got one MLS card. I've now got two MLS cards because one of the Santos boys, Santiago Munoz, who I've never rated him at Santos. Watched him many times at the stadium, on TV. You know, I say at the stadium because sometimes when you watch them at the stadium, you see what they do off the ball and you can kind of go, oh, he's actually a good player. He just needs a bit more luck or he'll be better at a different team in Mexico. I never thought that about him. He's left Santos. I've got his Santos card. He's part of my complete collection of Santos cards from like 2 years ago. And he's gone to MLS. So I've now got an MLS guy. We just had a notification. What's this about? Oh, mission accomplished. We got a reward. He's gone to MLS. So I've got 2 MLS cards now. And that's good timing because he's playing for that team he's gone to. I don't know. I'm not going to guess in case I get it wrong. And Atuesta's been kind of dropped. He's not playing anymore. So that's good timing for me. So I can still keep playing my MLS warm-up teams because I can play the striker now, Santiago Munoz, and play 4 common cards with him. So that's good news. Then we get to Monaco, who lost 4-0. That's the first bad thing. Second bad thing, goalkeeper got 6. Third bad thing, Bireth didn't play. Fourth bad thing, I put this in Division 1, we got relegated. Fifth bad thing, sort it out, Monaco. So yeah, Monaco not ending the season particularly well. I think that's the French season done now. English season done. Serie A will be last week of this season as well. So it's about to get quiet. So we were hoping we could scrape some lash cash prizes with this Monaco collection. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. It's another team that I'm going to keep again because Monaco, I've got the goalkeeper. So they're good for Champions League next season in Classic. I have always struggled with goalkeepers in the Champions League. I didn't have any this year. So next year we've got 3 Monaco goalkeepers. Hopefully they all stay there. And, you know, we've got a good Champions League team there in Monaco. Then we get to this boy with Danny Rabah. Delivers for Leganes. No one else did. Why did I play Lavia? What was I thinking? Everton... And I scored. I put him in the wrong lineup. I wasted him in my... Oh, I didn't think this would be a DMP goalkeeper lineup. Jose Sa, I've not done my research. He didn't play for Wolves. I quickly Googled it after the game. Why didn't Jose Sa play? No reports, unreported as to why. I've not yet found out why, but I know that he was dropped a few weeks ago as well. And there was a few months ago when he dropped out of the team and... John Stone was the number 1 goal, so I don't know what's happening with Jose Sa, but he ruined this lineup because Trevor Chalobah also ruined it by not playing. How dare he? And these 2 boys did their job, but yeah, these 2 boys let me down. Challenger, my limited card let me down there. I was going to say, this looks like quite a high-scoring 4 common cards that I picked, but Lamina didn't do the job. Oh, sad news in Mexico. Tigres lost their semi-final second leg 3-0, which means they're not going to make it to the final to play America. It will be Toluca who play America in the Liga MX final, and it looks like America are going to win their 4th title in a row, which is boring. Like, when's someone else going to win it? Maybe Toluca will win it. And no offense to America fans, but I hope Toluca do win it. Just so it's not the same winner every year. So that's the end of Tigres for me. That's the end of my in-season Tigres cards. They'll become classic cards next year, where they'll still be useful. Contender, classic, still be useful. Where, you know, we've got some good contender cards there. So, you know, Ibanez, I don't rate him. I'm hoping Tigres sign a new striker. I'm hoping that striker is Angel Correa because I bought his card in advance of these rumors that he might go to Tigres. So if that happens, we're well stocked on Tigres for next year. We can play the same 4 cards here. Maybe Lainez swaps with Gorian, who we've also got. And then the striker. If they don't sign Angel Correa, I'll probably try and buy whoever they do sign because they're probably going to get rid of Gignac. So they need a striker. They've missed a proper striker all season. It cost them this season. So let's see what they do. We'll be keeping our eye on all transfer news this summer. and making Sorare moves accordingly. If Chelsea sign a striker, we're going to have to get that guy. If Tigres get a striker, we're going to have to get that guy. They're my two. That's my Mexican team and that's my English team. Well, Santos is my Mexican team, but Tigres are my Sorare Mexican team and Chelsea obviously are my team. So, yeah, we'll be making moves. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll be informing you of all of that. Pereira continues his amazing run for Rosenborg. So we captained him. That did well, but all of these boys let me down. Under 23s, nothing to get excited about there. They were mainly to warm up. And then we backed West Ham and Bilal in goal, who got... What a disaster this is. Penalty conceded, 3 goals conceded, and a yellow card. I'm amazed he didn't get 0. I'm amazed he somehow got 2. And then the West Ham boys let me down against Forest. Bowen can't stop scoring. I just shouldn't have been playing Bowen with other West Ham players. I should have just been playing him solo, but oh well. Then we had this kind of speculative lineup where Kepa didn't play, so it was a bag of laughs. See what happens. Common lineup, and that was how we did last weekend. Have I brought any new cards? I don't think I bought any new cards since last video. Last video, I've got 1 card I bought 2 days ago. Pau Cabanes for 18p. To help with that, I need to buy 3 more Deportivo Alaves cards to make my collection get to 5%. Like eventually, because of how the maths works. After 90 days, they'll get to 5%. So he was one of the ones. He's 19 years old, young card. I thought, why not? Maybe he'll get a move. Maybe he'll be a good player in the future, and we've got him in advance of that. So yeah, that's the only new card I bought since last week. I'm debating selling my rare cards because, you know, I had an idea that maybe I start building some rare cards. Maybe I start like piecing together good cards, players that I think are good, who are quite undervalued, who are under £5, and then like storing them as value. And then next season, if they kind of go on a good run, people like Konza, McGinn might go up in value. I'm uncertain about that now. Now I'm kind of thinking, yeah, this plan would need me to buy a rare goalkeeper. It would need me to play them. And if I'm storing them as value, I think I might just cash them all out now and then use that money to buy Premier League Classic in-season cards in limited. So I'm undecided. If Villa get Champions League football, which I hope they don't because that means Chelsea won't get Champions League football. But if Villa get Champions League football, I may keep, say, these 2 cards because come Champions League football, there'll be weekends when Villa have a great fixture and people want to buy these guys, and I might be able to jump on a price or increase on these classic cards and get rid of them. Same with Lainez if Tigres have a good form. I got him for £2 and he's already been going for £4 or £5 lately. So if Tigres start next season well, people might want him. Same with Fulham. If Fulham start well, that's kind of why I've gone for like the same teams, just to try and kind of start some loose rare strategy. But these could all be sold, and some of these limiteds could be sold as well. But for now, I'm kind of happy with the gallery. I'm not planning any big moves. Let's see what happens. That was how I did last weekend. That's my 1 new card since last week's video. Let's finish this week's video by looking at my lineups for the coming weekend in the glorious, fun, exciting, and soon to become more dull world of Sorare. Before I show you my lineups for the coming weekend, that notification, just giving it a bit more of a look, was this. I claimed $5 in market credits. I've been doing that a lot lately. Like every kind of week, I've been kind of claiming £5 market credits. This was because I had someone who scored in the Europa League final in one of my lineups. So even though I didn't have any serious lineups this week, midweek, I did put Brennan Johnson in one of the lineups, in this lineup, with Phil Foden didn't play, Solanke didn't do anything, Udogie and Henderson didn't have good scores, and Johnson scored. So, kind of did win something from midweek, won £5 in market credits, and what's good about that is I've not spent the other market credits. I think I bought 1 player maybe at half price last week, James Garner, the Everton card. But when you claim the credits, it gives you another 14 days and it adds it to your previous score. So that's quite good because I've now got another 14 days because I've kind of been running out of time and going, now, what do I spend it on? What do I spend it on? Now that I've got it up to I think it's like 16, 17 pounds. I might be able to get, say, someone like one of those missing Barcelona pieces at half price. So that's quite good news. So that's that. Right. Last weekend of European football. MLS, the special competitions this week. MLS 30th anniversary. Obviously, I can't take my Santos striker to that competition, so we're not going to be playing that. We're not going to be playing Arena because we're saving our essence. We're not falling for that trick. And there's a ballers only freestyle, it's called, where you can play any cards, any scarcity, any type of in-season, out-season, any position, no goalkeepers needed. So we've put 2 lineups out for that. This one's a bit more serious than this one. This one, Adrian Pereira, been in amazing form for Rosenborg. Like, look at this. Skyscraper Central. Welcome to New York City, everybody. Look at these skyscrapers. So we hope he continues. So we're going to captain him. Thiago Silva and Enzo Fernandez are going to be in there again. Thiago Silva because he's got a good lineup, and I can't play contender lineups anymore because all my Mexican season cards have gone. So I've got no goalkeepers, no defenders. So I've got a couple of contender cards knocking around that are still good, like Sancris, like Thiago Silva. So they suit this lineup. Both of these cards on their day can do well. Evan Nielsen has got Leicester at home, could do well. Enzo Fernandez, who knows what's going to happen in that Forest-Chelsea game. I'm not super confident, but that's why Enzo Fernandez is here. So that lineup could do well, maybe. This lineup is going to rely heavily on Wolves doing well at Brentford. I don't think they will. They're on the beach. Wolves are on the beach. Cunha didn't play last game. Seems like he's leaving and the manager doesn't want to play him because why would you when the guy's on the way out and you're not going to get relegated? So these 3 Wolves cards, maybe they do well against Brentford at home because Brentford maybe also are on the beach, but maybe they've got a glimmer of Europe. I haven't quite looked at Brentford's league position, but yeah, who knows? Milenkovic is here because I've played my Nottingham Forest cards elsewhere. He's not my go-to defender for Forest. That is Nico Williams. So he's in here because Williams is somewhere else. And then Ward-Prowse, captain, because I love him. And he's also playing Ipswich. So why not? So this one's not as serious. This one, more serious. Our final Premier League in-season lineups of the season. And it's a bit of a shame that the fixtures aren't great for me. The best fixture probably on paper is Nottingham Forest against Chelsea, which I hate because I don't want Nottingham Forest to do well here. I really want Chelsea to win that game, but I have to use my head here. And Wolves didn't have a great fixture. Crystal Palace didn't have a great fixture. Crystal Palace are playing Liverpool away. So in season, the best option is probably these 4 Forest cards and Declan Rice, who's playing Southampton. Captain Declan Rice, play the 4 Forest cards, hope they do bad, but not bad enough to get relegated. I'm assuming next season we stay in the same divisions that we finished this season in. So if that's the case, I've got 2 Division 1 lineups here, which could be massive for next season. Like if I do get some limited some in-season cards for that first week of the season, even if I don't, you stay in the league if you don't play that week. So 2 Division 1 lineups in Premier League in season could be great for next year. So hopefully these lineups, even if I don't win anything big this weekend, hopefully they at least stay in the division and I've got Division 1 lineups for next season when maybe it's less competitive, especially at the beginning when not as many people have cards. So let's see how that goes. This lineup, I'm going to play the Wolves cards. I'm not captaining Cunha because I've got a feeling he won't play again. He'll come off the bench like he did last week. Now, Cunha coming off the bench can still do well. He came off the bench at the weekend and got like a 60 or 59. So he may play. Maybe they want to give him a farewell game. Or he may come off the bench and score. It's Brentford at home. I just don't know what's going to happen there. But it's a home fixture and Crystal Palace are away to Liverpool. So I had to kind of go with the 3 Wolves cards here. I didn't want to play the goalkeeper because, again, we don't know who's going to be in goal. Is it going to be Jose Sarr? Is it going to be Bentley? We don't know who's going to be in goal. So I didn't want to take the risk, especially in Division 1. So I'm going to be going for Newcastle, who have my classic goalkeeper, Nick Pope. And I've got Tino Livramento that I won a few weeks ago. So I'll go for the Newcastle defence at home against Everton. Everton got nothing to play for. Newcastle playing for that Champions League place. Kind of thinking that could be a good defensive option. And then we hope that the 3 Wolves attackers kind of have a bit of a fun day on the last day of the season and get a whole bunch of goals. In case Liverpool continue their bad form that they've been on, and Crystal Palace are really in a buoyant mood after that FA Cup win, just in case, I'm going to play 5 Crystal Palace cards here in this lineup. I trust Eze to kind of do well and save this team from getting relegated, but I'm slightly worried about the defence and don't think they'll score that many goals. But Liverpool have been conceding and haven't been winning lately, so who knows? Who knows? And Liverpool Crystal Palace games, I feel like they're weird. I feel like in my head they're all 4-3. So if that's the case, maybe there's lots of saves to the goalkeeper and these guys can get some goal involvement. So that's the case here. Classic, we're going to be going for Villa. So basically what I'm doing is really targeting Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. The 4 teams that are playing for Champions League football. I'm trying to make sure any Villa cards I have, any Newcastle cards I have are all getting played. So here I've put my Villa cards who are Asensio in season, and then I've got 2 classic Villa cards, Konza and McGinn. Against Manchester United, who have just lost the Europa League final, they'll be tired, they'll be demoralised. Villa are trying to win to get Champions League football. Villa should win, right? Right? So 3 Villa cards, and then Jared Bowen without any of the West Ham circus around him. Just Bowen this time on his own. Captain. Ipswich, nice fixture for him. And then Kepa's got Leicester. So nice fixtures there, and then Villa here. So, as I say it, I'm convincing myself that this is going to win number 1. I'm going to finish first in Division 1 Classic. So I look forward to that. Then we're going for Heart overhead and backing Chelsea. With Areola in goal because he's got Ipswich. Nice fixture for West Ham. And then 4 Chelsea boys. I'm not confident about Neto, but this is the problem with Chelsea. They've not got any strikers. So I can't play Jackson. Jackson's the one I'd want to play. Jackson's the one I'd want to see Chelsea playing in real life. But he's suspended because he stupidly got himself sent off. So Neto, Caicedo, Palmer and Cucurella. Let's see what happens. In this lineup, I've gone for 3 more Chelsea players. Ramsdale against his not a parent club, his old club, Arsenal. And then Phil Foden, I'm going to captain him just in case he plays. He didn't play, he was on the bench last game. But who knows what Man City are going to do? Like, who knows? So maybe Foden comes off the bench and does something. Who knows? Who knows? Then we've got some common lineups. Then we go to La Liga, where we're hoping Barcelona see the season out in style. Rafinha, Lewandowski, hoping they don't let me down this week. I'm also going to go for Olmo and Eric Garcia. Olmo was on the bench last game, so I'm kind of playing the Barcelona roulette game again. It could be Fermin Lopez, it could be Xavi, it could be Pedri, it could be Olmo. We don't know who's going to play midfield, but I'm picking these 3 because they're the best 3 Barcelona cards I have. So if they play, happy days. And Dimitrovic has got a nice game at home to Villarreal. Leganes need to win to stay up. So, hoping he does well. Had a good score last week, so again, hoping he does well. We're going to be backing the Alaves boys. Alaves have got a trickier fixture this weekend against Osasuna. But Osasuna are like mid-table, haven't really got much to play for. And Deportivo Alaves are on a good run. Maybe the feel-good factor's there. So I'm not going to play the attackers. I'm learning my lesson from last weekend. Just going to play the defenders and 1 midfielder. And then play Danny Rabah, who, like Dimitrovic, Leganes got a great fixture. So I'm going to captain him. And then Julian Alvarez away at Girona. Not the worst fixture, but because it's away, I've gone for the captaincy on Rabah, who's got the home fixture. The remaining cards I think could do well here in La Liga with the DMP goalkeeper in Division 3, so we don't really take that seriously. We're building XP for next season. Here's Santiago Munoz, my Santos boy. He now plays for Sporting Kansas City, who are 13th. He started last week, didn't score, but he's more of a better chance of getting points than Atuesta. So he's now my guy in MLS, and then we play 4 cards with him. Champion, we've gone for an in-season. So Monaco don't have a fixture. I think French football's done now. So this team is a Monaco lineup. So instead we've gone for a Division 3 champion in-season lineup where these 4 cards are basically backing Fulham at Manchester City, hoping Man City have a bad day, and these 3 Fulham cards can do really well, and maybe Chris Wood scores against Chelsea. Hopefully not, but if he does, this is a long shot, but it's Division 3. We've got nothing to lose. In season, again, DMP goalkeeper, so let's not get too serious about that. Challenger, warm-up, contender. We've not got any in-season contender teams anymore. we have to wait for the Mexican season to come back, and we have to buy some more Mexican in-season lineups for next year. I might not do that, by the way. I didn't win that much from my Mexican in-season cards. I bought Necaxa, I bought Tigres, and I bought a few Atlas in-season. Lesson learned. I think Contender is just more fun. It makes I watch a lot of Mexican football. It makes it more fun if I've got some classic lineups out there. But I don't think it's as serious to win. I think I've got to focus next year in season just on Classic and Premier League. Maybe La Liga. Not Contender. I'm not going to get sucked into that. So I probably won't buy another in-season team, and I probably won't play in-season Contender in-season next year. I think I'm just going to play Classic Contender because I did win a few cards and essence and boxes from Classic in Contender this year. So I think that's realistically what I've got to expect next year, and stop wasting my money probably on Mexican cards. Under 23 lineups are DMP goalkeepers, so these are just building XP. All-Star, this are 5 players. They're all playing. Bilal, Soleil, Lamina, McNeil, and Vergara all should be playing. And this lineup, if Jose Sarr does play for Wolves, this could be an all-playing lineup. And we're captaining Trent Alexander-Arnold because just in case he starts and kind of, the fans are booing him like they were last game, and he's angry and he scores, I can kind of see him maybe doing something a little controversial, maybe. So we're captaining him just on the off chance that he does something controversial, scores a goal. Why, maybe, who knows? And then we've got Everton boys here who I'm not expecting to do well, but I hope they do well. This is an optimistic lineup. Conor Gallagher, I always want him to do well. Everton, I want them to beat Newcastle. Jose Sarr, I want him to start. And Trent, I want to see some drama, and I want him to sign off in style and then go to Real Madrid, and I've got that card for Real. I'm quite excited. There's rumors today that Enzo Fernandez might go to Real Madrid. I've got Trent Alexander-Arnold who's going to Real Madrid. So, I've got a little Real Madrid classic stack building up here. So keep an eye on Trent and Enzo. And then, that. So those are my lineups for the final Premier League and European week of the in-season. Good luck with your games, guys. Let me know what you're planning on doing in the summer if you're not playing MLS and Asia competitions. If you're playing MLS and Asia, I get it. You've got busy weeks ahead of you. Sorare still fun for you. If you're like me and you're not playing in MLS and you're not playing in Asia, is there anything you're looking forward to in Sorare? Or like me, are you just going to take a break? I don't mind taking a break, taking a breather, do some scouting, play other games like MFL, play the occasional week. Maybe the Club World Cup is interesting on Sorare. Who knows? Let me know what you're doing. Otherwise, I'll see you next video. I don't know if it's going to be next week. The videos may become fortnightly now. It all depends if I've got stuff to talk about. If I feel like I've got some juicy stuff to talk about, or I've sold loads of cards or bought some cards, we'll do a video. Otherwise, it'll be maybe on a 2-week basis now. But I'll see you next time. Thanks for all the support, the likes, subscribes, the comments, all of that juicy stuff. Good luck with your game weeks, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.